Hi everybody and welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be doing a sketchbook tour. This is actually the very first sketchbook I have really ever done. It's not full yet, but I have now managed to keep a sketchbook for a year. I haven't drawn in it every single day, but at least once a week, so it's about half full. So I thought now would be a good time to start and show you how much I have done in my sketchbook this year. It's just a very cheap basic sketchbook by Potentate, I'm not really sure. It's got some Chinese looking figures on the back, so I'm not really sure of the brand. And it has 120 sheets, it's 100 GSM, and it's just a little A5 sketchbook. I would say one of the problems that I've had with this is that the paper isn't the best quality. I did buy it just because it was the cheapest one I could find and I didn't really think about what I would need in a sketchbook. So it means that it doesn't take very wet media very well. Even sketching, there's a lot of transfer of the graphite from one page to another and it sucks to try and erase anything. It just makes a big smudge all over the page, so that wasn't the best thing. Also, it's got a soft cover, which means that if you're out and about trying to sketch, it's actually really hard because it's so flimsy. But anyway, let's take a look at some of the sketches that I have done this year. So, as you can see, it was started on the 10th of July 2017 and today is the 13th of July 2018, I think. So yeah, I started off by doing some Zentangle, just because I thought that would be a good way to break the ice. And it just says hey, which means hello in Swedish. And after that, I didn't use that page because there was a bit of bleed through from the other page. I decided I wanted to practice drawing faces. I've never been that great at drawing faces, so I decided that that was what I was going to do. So I took a book out from the library, which is the new Draw Faces book, and just had a go at all of the little exercises in there on the following pages, trying to block out noses and things, and some of the proportions were very bad in the early stages. But yeah, just trying to draw different faces from different angles really. And after I'd finished practicing with that book, I actually decided that I was going to sketch a picture a day. I only lasted a week, but I found some images on Pinterest, faces that I liked, and I just sketched them out. And this was actually a teenager, but I made her nose so long that she ended up looking like an adult. She looks fine, but she doesn't look at all like the original picture. So yeah, I just mainly focused on the faces and left the hair out. I'm practicing doing a child, and yeah, there's a lot of graphite transfer on these now, unfortunately, but yeah, and this is where I first found out that if you rub out with an eraser, then it just makes a horrible smudge on the page. The page has a kind of weird texture. So unfortunately, she got a big smudge on her cheek. So after I'd done some of those, I decided to do some gesture drawings. I used Quick Pose and just roughly sketched just some different things there. And then this sketchbook is entirely random. A Groot, just because. And then I usually use this mostly at work actually. I try and sit down for about 20 minutes in my lunch break and just choose something to sketch. So on this day we were doing some sketches of birds and then butterflies. I think here I was doing some ideas for Inktober. I don't think I ever actually went any further with this, but that was an Inktober idea. Some fish, a seahorse, which did actually become an Inktober piece. If you go back on my channel, you will see it. I can even link it up in the cards. A random girl in a dress. Hand studies. I'm not very good at drawing hands, so always good to practice. more hand studies, plait studies, because they're always hard to do as well. More hair, plaits and wavy hair, leaf studies. I really hope you can see these. I know sometimes I sketch quite lightly. And then it was November, so I sketched out a couple of ideas, but I just thought they looked a bit twee and never really did anything with those. And this was also an idea for a painting that I've never gone any further with. And then just some different ideas for flowers at Astrantia. I was sketching that day. Some mushrooms, an old man in a hat, a tiger, and then this one, I have no idea what I was doing here, but it's the same on this page and the next page, a giraffe wearing a scarf and socks, and it must have been around Christmas time, but I have no idea why, not a clue. Then I was practicing some florals, skimmia. Then I decided that I wanted to have a go at doing some lettering, so this was around Christmas time, so an advent candle, and then I got my brush pens out. I'm not very good at using brush pens, yeah, was just doing some random lettering, trying to see if I could get any good at that. Then I tried to draw a lady in a kimono. Her face turned out really odd there. Went back to doing more hair studies so that I could get better at that. A girl, this was actually the girl from The Greatest Showman, I can't remember her name now, and I found a picture of her wearing a butterfly dress, so I was trying to draw that, but the details was very intricate. Then I drew this picture of from The Greatest Showman when they were swinging around in the air doing their acrobatics, just a quick sketch there. A little self-portrait, and then a parrot, and then a cat, and then some random cartoonified animals. That deer is looking a bit odd, but there you go. And an owl with a question mark. And then I decided to try and use just some colouring pencils to draw instead. So there's a couple of horses. Most of these are drawn from references from Pixabay or just from Pinterest. And then a little beach house with a very odd looking bird on top, a couple of seashells, a half drawn elephant that I never finished, a dragonfly that I never finished. Often I don't finish them because as I said, I usually sketch on my lunch break and I don't always have time. I only get, well, I was supposed to get half an hour, but it doesn't always end up being half an hour. So I usually get maybe 15 minutes of sketching time in. Little bird idea that I did for my nan's birthday, and then a bird here. I think I was using a kingfisher reference for this one, so that's a kingfisher. Trying to draw a squirrel. Here I swatched out my polychromos. I got a 12 pack, and then I drew an apple with a red biro. And then I tried to draw some waves, and it was a big disaster. So I went back to doing some more gesture drawings with quick poses, and then more fish and sharks and things, and a random eye that I stuck in there. I drew that when I was at work. Some buildings, random animals and different things. Just these, I was trying out a style here that I'd seen someone do on Instagram, so I just thought I'd doodle that there. Hand studies, fox studies. Foxes are really hard to draw. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm having trouble getting the snout right. A little mermaid doodle there, and another mermaid doodle. Some terrapins and turtles and things. And then a badger. I drew this because a badger ran out in front of me when I was walking home from the shop. And then an eagle. I didn't see an eagle in real life, I just decided to draw one. More hand studies. This bird turned out really wrong. I don't know what went on there. I think I was trying to draw some sort of birdhouse and gave up. Another face study. Her face didn't quite turn out right around the chin, but other than that, I need to blend it a bit more maybe. Then I did some more hair studies. You can see I like doing hair studies. I actually sat on the train and did some of these and used real life people as inspiration. Fish that I drew at the aquarium in Stockholm. And then I've been trying to do some of the Draw a Box lessons online. If you've never heard of it, go to drawabox.com, and there's lots of lessons where you have to practice drawing lines over and over and try and match up to the line that you've drawn, and drawing different kinds of boxes and things. So I was doing some practice there. I did a horse. Its leg is a little bit wonky, but I've actually transferred this to a digital image and I'm working on that now, so that will hopefully come out as a video in the near future. I just need to put in a background. More Draw a Box lessons, this time working on circles. I need to work on this a lot more because they look not very good. And then I went to the botanical gardens in Stockholm, and I was just doing some quick sketching of some different leaves and different plants. And then the final picture in this book, which was actually last week's video, just the Japanese garden in the botanical gardens. So that is it for this sketchbook tour. I have still got half of the sketchbook left to go. Hopefully I will be more successful filling it, maybe quicker. I'd like to be quicker at filling it up rather than taking a whole year to do 60 pages. Maybe I can shorten the time. I really hope you enjoyed seeing my sketchbook tour, and come back and see how I fill the next 60 pages if you like what you saw today. So thank you very much for watching my sketchbook tour, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!